Okay, so this is the electrical harness pass-through, and you see there's these little locks right here that keep the pass-through locked to the housing. So what you can do is take a socket, put it over the top of it, and use the socket to depress all the locks. Once they're depressed, you can reach the harness here, okay, the back of the connector, and you grab the connector and pull it down out of the body. Okay, so now we're looking at the valve body of the transmission, and as I pan down, you can see there's solenoid here, there's another one here, there was one here, it's since been pirated. Scroll down a little farther, we have another solenoid here, we have another one here, and we have another one here. But the device we're actually looking at right now is this one right here. Okay, it should look familiar to you guys. We've been talking about it in class now. This is actually the pressure switch assembly, pressure manifold. The one thing that you can see from this side is the temp sensor. This is the component that actually picks up fluid temperature within the interior of the transmission, and that's it right there. That's the little component. Okay. Oh, and the other thing I wanted to show you is right there, that is the pass-through that I removed earlier. Once the valve body's off, we can pull that wiring harness out of there. Okay, and now we have the valve body. This is off the transmission now. There's two things I wanted to show you guys before we move on. We're going to zoom in right here on this area, take a little closer look at it, and we see that it looks a little different from the rest of the valve body. If we look, this is a boss where a bolt would go through. Obviously this is a bolt hole, it's got threads in it. Same thing with this one, and then with this one here as well, you can actually see the witness mark from where the bolt was tightened on it. Same with this one. But the other holes in the area, this one and this one, that one, and this one, are different than the rest of them. It's actually got a nice smooth machine surface over the top of them, and these are actually the ports that send hydraulic pressure back to the manifold switches to tell it what circuits have been applied. So these are the hydraulic circuits for the pressure switch. Okay, and then right here we have, this is the manual valve. You can see this is where the manual valve linkage would connect to it. And I'll go ahead and pull it out. You can see what this thing is made of. It's a little sticks in the bore a little bit coming out. And that's it. So that's your manual valve. Not a whole lot to it. Okay. Just a couple of lands. Okay, so you can see I got the valve body off. We're actually looking at the spacer plate gasket, and on this spacer plate you can see that there's a few check balls. We have one here and here. There's another one down here. There's here, and one right here. There's another one here. This one's kind of interesting because if you look at it, you can see that thing is not sitting. Zoom in on it. It is right here, and you can see all the rest of them. All the rest of them are sitting up from the valve body. They're sitting on top of it. That one is almost flush with it. You can see it right there. It's inside the spacer plate. So, right there, we're stuck in the spacer plate. That thing is not moving. This one, right here, is on the spacer plate. In fact, I can move it. Let's see, I don't want it to roll away, but okay, so this is what happens when your transmission gets a lot of miles on it and things start to fail and line pressure goes up. These check balls will start to hammer into the spacer plate every time they're operated instead of just resting against the hole or slowly pushed against the hole, it'll get slammed into the hole. Okay?